Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, SpongeBob, Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents, all household cartoons. I'm sure you've watched some of them as a kid, maybe today as an adult, because there ain't no age limit, so let's get right into it. Action. These shows typically have extended fight sequences, battles, physical conflict, usually related to obstacles the hero gotta face to protect something. Could be a town, person, or some special moral code they got. It don't matter what it is, just the villains want it or want to keep the hero from getting it. Anime practically built this genre in animation, Dragon Ball being one of the most instantly recognizable titles in the field. Others like Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia also fit. Shit. Going back to cartoons, even Batman. Most superhero shows tend to match this criteria to a T, being damn near the same with different characters and a little different storyline. Adventure. Adventure genres sound like they'd be part of the action, and you'd be half right. The main difference that the characters are on a journey of sorts, exploring the world or otherwise never staying in one place for too long. Yes, there can be combat and reoccurring threats, but it's not for any specific setting. The hero visits the town, meets the locals, saves them, and moves on. If we bring it back to anime, it would probably be something like One Piece. Cartoons, I'll say maybe Avatar. They take special care to have linear flowing storylines by contrast to their competitors, which can be in any order. On the flip side though, we got the slice of life genre, where the action genre features fights and high stakes. Slice of life doesn't. These are shows with no major goals or plot, just serve as a window between unique characters and the world they inhabit. Often, the humor comes from completely mundane circumstances the character experienced, as though they were indeed world-ending threats. I can think of a few cartoons that do that every episode, but these cartoons tend to go after the younger audiences, like Bluey or My Little Pony or Caillou. But there are other cartoons that do it, like Teen Titans Go, American Dad, Rocko's Modern Life, all share the same shit of mundane activities being a core plot, even if they can be surreal in how they're pulled off. American Dad can be funny sometimes though. Drama. Of course, not every relationship is perfect, which is where the drama genre comes in. Typically, a drama is a result of taking a serious tone versus a lighter one. Yeah, there can be moments of levity in between, but not as much. Certainly not enough to remove the underlying problems each character has. Not even the audience could tell which direction the show is going in this genre. And they can't even be guaranteed a happy ending. You feel for the characters and the struggles they have with the world and with themselves. Curiously, there are a few straight genre animations in the West, usually blending together with comedy or action. The closest we can get, BoJack Horseman, depressing as fuck. Samurai Jack, cool as fuck. Equally somber as they are occasionally lighthearted. The same is true with some animes. Code Geass, Full Metal Alchemist are some to be considered dramas, although equally blended with other genres in the mix. The core focus is in the characters and their struggles. They might not even be good people, but that makes the audience's fascination even stronger. Now we got fantasy. Once upon a time, there were knights, squires, kings and queens, fair princesses, and many more that are part of the ideal image of a fantasy world. This genre has its roots in medieval times, but can just as easily branch out into the fantastical. Dragons, fairies, elves, and more can all coexist in these shows. Usually they got some type of twist that makes each world unique. Think of Delicious in Dungeon, for example, a world of adventurers and magical creatures where the focus is cooking and companionship, which is a typical standard fantasy adventure. Adventure Time, perfect example, as is She-Ra and the Owl House. Key points for the genre include things such as magic, or generally a lack of technology versus real life, though it isn't always required. The bulk of the setting's weight should be on the fantastical elements that shape it. Science fiction. Now it's time to boldly go where animation has gone before. Science fiction. Interstellar travel, scientific progress, aliens, and mechas. Lots of mechas. Of course, Gundam and Neon Genesis Evangelion are such examples, but some animes can also go in different non-robot related directions, such as Cowboy Bebop and Steins Gate. Point is, genres about the rise of technology influencing others, contrasting with the world of magic fantasy gives us. Here, humanity makes the rules and sets new paths, for better or for worse. Final Space and Star Trek provide more humorous takes on the genre, even though those aren't cartoons, but y'all get the point. Satire, interesting genre, namely in what it's designed to do. All the other genres I've listed are straightforward, where they give you a theme that they'll be running with for the show's entire production. A satire takes those conventions and twists them. In other words, it knows full well that the audience's perspective is, and it plays against those perspectives. Or it can be used to deliberately make a statement about real life issues, whether they're about society, politics, or current world events in general. For the former, poking fun at a specific genre, such examples like One Punch Man and Megas XLR, making fun of superheroes and mecha shows, respectively. For the latter, The Simpsons fits that role, and Hetalia fit, an open scope mockery of the world, and the new Deadpool movie if you haven't seen it yet. Nothing beats the sensation of fear, and for audiences, the horror genre is the best place for it. It's designed for these killer situations, horrific monsters that are bent on destroying the hero. Often, these same heroes are functionally helpless against the outside forces against them, either because they don't have weapons or because the force is just that powerful. But if we go back into the animation form, Hellsing and Tokyo Ghoul are only some of the examples. If you go back into typical cartoons, then we got Courage the Cowardly Dog, plus we got Gravity Falls, which is no stranger to the unknown and unknowable. Next, we got horror's cousin, Thriller. Thriller's a lot like horror, but with an important distinction. Horror typically relates to elements that are beyond anyone's control, like monsters or cosmic entities. A thriller, on the other hand, is typically related to people versus people. The goal is to keep people on the edge of their seats, hoping to see where a situation will go next. This could take many forms, like two people trying to outwit each other, Death Note for example, even with its supernatural elements. It's difficult to nail down a good cartoon that could fit in that category. Maybe Castlevania and potentially Primal both have cases where the increases, stake, and rising action keep the audience tuned in the whole time. But enough of that. On to my favorite genre, comedy. Comedy is simply the art of making people laugh. Straightforward and simple. Whether it's through wordplay, crazy situations, and the characters' reactions to them, physical comedy, or just crude humor, like Family Guy. This genre is difficult to properly capture since everyone's sense of humors are so different. Not every joke will land for everyone. Fortunately, comedy doesn't tend to be the Western animation stock and trade, with most shows delivering some form of humor. So we got some shows like The Amazing World of Gumball, SpongeBob, we got the Paul Rudish Mickey Mouse shorts, because who doesn't like a good laugh? Everyone should. But last but not least, we got romance. This where y'all freaky niggas can come in. Romance is a genre about relationship and the characters within. Unlike most of the other genres, romance almost entirely thrives on the complex connections between characters and their feelings about the other at any time throughout the show. From blossoming love to triangles to the unrequited, romance in animation can take many forms. I would say the closest thing we can get to romance is Steven Universe and Legend of Korra if you're really pulling strings. Not many romantic cartoons though. That's more on the anime side. Unless you do the princess themed movies, Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, cartoons like that. They focus on romance, which is fair. But then again, this also can kind of get mixed up with other genres. I would say the romance category leans more into the anime side, and some of the stuff I see would be almost porn. But just because the show is part of a specific genre doesn't mean they can't blend into each other. In fact, it happens all the time, with many genres coming in together in one blend. Example, One Piece. Probably every genre under the sun. Gravity Falls, a comedy with strong action and horror elements. But hey, we all love those type of cartoons that can fall in more than one place. But if I messed up anywhere or left something out, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe.